Today on the 50-Pound Brain, we're doing something completely different. We're working on the steed that takes us over to the storage unit to get Higgins out of his bedroom. And it's got problems. And so we're getting down to the bottom of it. So let's get going. So we started out with a mysterious flat tire, which pulled the tire out, put it in water, or pulled the whole wheel off, put it in water, no bubbles. Pulled the tube out of it, put it in water, no bubbles. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I just went ahead and put it back in. But while we were doing a test ride after airing it back up and reassembling it, it won't go into high gear. And look at this. This whole bearing retainer action thing is starting to unscrew from the frame. So it won't, the shifter's pushing the chain as far as it can go, but the whole sprocket assembly has moved over. And this thing seemed like it was a little bit harder to pedal. I thought maybe it was because I was gaining weight, so that obviously is not true. And so we've got to get into that. Now I've already pulled off this pedal, and you have to use a special polarizer that I got from the jungle, and to press these off. These are not just you know, take the bolt out and then you can just knock these off with a hammer. Oh no, it's not that nice. So yeah, I had to get the special tool so I could press these off. They're not a hard press, but they're just enough to where they're not going to come off prying and banging on the center here. So, and I know that because I tried it. So now we got to get the pedal side off, because we got to get, well, yeah, we got to look at this, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never taken this stuff apart before, and we're just going at it. I mean, it's just a simple mechanical thing, right? So we got to get these guts out though and see what's going on. Why, if that is just a matter of it's unscrewing out of the frame, or if there's something else going on. Okay, so this bolt is the L Gigantor 8mm socket head cap screw, which everybody at work knows how much I love socket head cap screws, because you can never find the right Allen wrench for them. You'll always grab the one bigger and the one smaller, and it's even doubly fun if they're metric. But luckily I have this set that I keep on the bike, because this whole thing's assembled with these. So pull out that bolt, put in your super special tool extractifier, pedal extractifier, thread it in all the way, because this is going into aluminum. So you need as many threads as possible to pull this off for this thing to bite. Otherwise you're just going to rip them out. Okay, and then you run this thing in, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take a lot. And there you go, walking it off. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Nope, it's coming. There we go. Alrighty. So it looks like we need another special tool. Yay! Some kind of, let me get you off here. So yeah, it's got this kind of internal spline thingamabob that has to, looks like it has to unscrew, and then maybe all these guts pull out. I don't really know. Like I said, I'm making this up as I go along. But that gap right here, I think that's not supposed to be there. But we'll see. Yeah, just gotta figure out how I'm gonna get that unscrewed. All right, so looking in here, it looks like this is a reverse thread. So we're going to try and unscrew this, which means we have to go clockwise to unscrew it. I don't have the external spline tool, and I'm probably going to chew this up. Oh, maybe I'm going to need the external spline tool. I don't want to be too violent on this. Okay, it turns that way. It won't turn that way. Okay, I got the teeth going wrong on this, so let's see now. There we go. These are angled teeth. I don't know if you can see that. So, gotta make sure the teeth are angling in the right direction to where they actually bite. Oh, that's a hole. It's just a cartridge. Okay. All right, so let's wipe off. See what we got here. So this thing is done. It's got a big wear mark here. So I don't think that's right. Okay. All right, there's a bearing. I don't feel any side to side play. So I guess you don't rebuild these, you just change this whole cartridge. I'm not exactly sure. You know, this doesn't feel great. It feels like old bearings. I may have to get a new insert. And look inside here too. Back up a little bit. It's kind of gritty. Oh yeah, it's way gritty. So I wonder what has been going on in here. Let me put you back down, adjust the tripod so you can see what's happening here. So I have two hands. All right. Now we're gonna hit it with the plastic brush, and well, it's plastic on one side, metal on the other. We're gonna get all these threads cleaned out. Let's see. Clean this other side out. This has the same external spline, I guess, for this seal. Oh, there's her. Oh wait, no, it's unscrewing. Okay. I used, well, you saw what I used to get that one. For this side, I'm going to use a small pair of needle nose. Since it moves just with my hand. So I see this is probably how they set the preload, is with the torque. on these two. Okay. It's like this is regular thread. Yeah. Right hand thread, whatever you want to call it. This is all we're doing. So this is what that insert looks like in there. So we've got this side and this side is the entire crank pedal package. Yeah, I don't dig the way that feels. It doesn't feel smooth enough. I'm wondering if this nut comes off like this one does. Doesn't feel like it. It doesn't mean it doesn't. So, but yeah, these sound dry if you get right down to it. These sound dry. You hear that? Yeah, I think this needs a new, whatever this thing is. So let me do some research and see what exactly is rebuildable and what is just have to procure and replace. So I'll get back with you in a minute. All right, so this is what we had. I want you to, where's the microphone? I want you to hear this. It sounds like it turns smooth under a no load, but really that is dry bearings. That's the sound of dry bearings. So we got a new one. It's called a bottom bracket. I don't know why they call it a bracket, but here's what this one sounds like. Can't even hear it. That is well lubricated bearings. And we got to buy a tool. It's always good when you get to buy a tool. And it is apparently, I need to be a child. If I had a 5-year-old, they'd be in this thing already. So this is the tool, the BBT 22. See if you can see it. Bottom bracket tool, 22. But that's for putting that in, because we're going to need that. I don't want to stab myself. Been there, done that. Yeah, I left a giant puddle of blood in the 50-pound brain lab one day with a brand new Leatherman. Yeah, to put this in, torque it so it has a little bit enough preload. So let's do that now. So we got to lube up those threads, put this thing in, and then we will be cooking with gas again. I forget what we filled this for, but it comes in handy. The sides Oh, we almost forgot our gasket. Actually, I should see if there's a new one in the box. It does come with both sides spanner nut things and 2 new crank arm bolts. I don't know if it comes with this plastic seal, and it does not. So this is what it comes with. I don't like those bolts, so we'll stick with our Allen head jobs. But put this on. All right. Okay, torqued. So, got our park tool. Just want to make sure we get this side tight, but remember, at least on a Trek, you're tightening into aluminum, so don't go crazy. This side, squirt a little grease in there. Put some on here. Remember, this one's a regular thread, not reverse thread like the other side. Maybe I should have had this one in first so that the bearing, I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter. Still turns nice. So we're gonna give it final torque. And there we go. Oh, this is gonna be so sweet. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of cleanup here while we got it apart. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit you. Okay. First one's kind of arbitrary how it goes together. There should be some. Now, one thing I will say is there were these spacers. Maybe they're just plastic and they can just come out. I don't know. We're gonna see. It doesn't look like it. Because I've just mangled them up. Okay, well, is what it is. Okay, so we don't have those spacers for this. He's fine. Where are my screws? Okay. That's the only thing I don't like about these these. That's probably good. All right, let's do the other side. So now this one takes a little bit more coordination. So right now our the far side pedal is down, so this one needs to be up or it's going to be really wonky to ride. And yeah, don't forget to put the chain on. Okay. And then our other bolt. Oop. Here, let me move you back a little bit. There we go. Okie doke. Now we just have to adjust the derailleur, because I've got it all out of whack, because I was thinking that the cable had stretched and that's why it wasn't pulling it all the way to this sprocket, which, come to find out, was untrue. But I had already loosened up the cable, so now I've got to rig it all back up. So let me get the bike straightened back up. Okay. We've got chain up in the high gear up front here, derailleurs up there. Now we just need to bring this cable, pull it tight, put it in there. Oh, yeah. Let's see, this is the good times right here. And then tighten that down. And of course, we put the pedal right in our way because we're awesome like that. And remember how these Allen wrenches were flopping out when we were trying to tighten the pedals? Now they don't when I need them to. So, yes. Okay. This cable has kind of had it. Probably needs a new shifter cable, but we'll wait till it breaks on the trail before we change it. Now, see if I can get you to see. These two screws are how you set the left and or in and out stops. So I've got more travel. I'm probably going to need it too, honestly. So I probably need to loosen this up some. And pull this down. There. I think that will ensure that we get into high gear, or at least guarantee us a little better. All right, test ride time. The test ride was successful, and unfortunately the condition that started all this, our mysteriously flattening back tire, is still doing it. It just takes 2 or 3 days to go flat. So I think what's happened is the rubber is just breaking down and it is just leaking out through the tube skin itself. So we'll change the tube and press on. I should have done it when I had the tire off, when I was doing bubble checks, when I figured out that there was no hole or, you know, smoking gun as to why this thing was losing air. I should just change the tube, but I didn't, because 26-inch wheel stuff is getting harder to get. For whatever reason, it's probably going the way of R12 refrigerant. somebody lost their patent on it, or the patent expired, and so now they got to make a new square tires that are high performance, and you got to buy all the crap for that. And they're not making stuff to support 26-inch tires anymore, or wheels on bikes. But I have my stash, so we're gonna have to dip into that stash and put in a new tube, and then we'll be ready to rock. Old Blue will be ready to go. And I figure now I got the tools. When Mrs. O's bike starts getting hard to pedal, we'll be ready. So I know this isn't our normal thing with Higgins, but that's not all I do. I fix stuff wherever they are, wherever it is. So thanks for watching.